Welcome back to Lisa's Kitchen. Today I'm going to try something different. I normally make my curries using either chicken, beef, or my two favorites, lamb or oxtail. So I am going to be trying a pork curry. Now I actually got this pork on a really good deal, which is actually the pork neck bones. And I do have something new in my kitchen that helps a lot with the cooking. What's great about a pressure cooker, it speeds up the cooking process. For example, I used to do oxtail in a slow cooker. It used to take me 7 hours to cook. With this baby, only an hour and a half. So I'm going to be cooking the pork curry, so I'm estimating it's going to take me about an hour using the pressure cooker. But I'll also show you some of the cool things that you can do with a pressure cooker as opposed to a slow cooker. So let's show you what my ingredients are going to be. Pork, tomatoes, onions, orange pepper, garlic, ginger, beans. And here are the spices. Obviously salt and pepper. We have our Montreal steak seasoning, 2 cubes of beef. The masala, if you do not have curry masala, you can just use regular curry powder. Turmeric, a very important ingredient. And then obviously I use the Robin Hood Easy Blend to thicken up the curry. So the first thing is to cut up my onions. Okay, I'll be using a little bit of oil, canola oil, to brown the meat. I'll be throwing in the meat. Now the great thing with the pressure cooker is you can have it open and just put it on a low setting time wise just to brown up the meat. And I also throw in the onions. At the same time. This is also a good time to add in the garlic as well. While the meat is browning, I'm just going to be cutting up my tomato. 1 tomato is normally good. So I'm going to show you another little trick to give more of a tomato flavor to it. What you should always do when cooking tomatoes, add a little bit of sugar, because it gets rid of the acidity in the tomato, so doesn't have that sort of bitter, acidy taste. I used brown sugar, but you can use white sugar as well. This time I will be also cutting up my pepper. And voila! While this is going, I do like to boil the kettle, because now what I'm going to be doing is mixing the cubes. So I'm going to be using 2 cubes. Just drop it in a cup and I'll add hot water to mix it up. As you can see, the meat is now nice and browned up, and I'll be adding in the water mixed with the cubes. And I will be also adding in additional water. Not too much, because this is going to be sealed and it's really going to be cooking with the pressure. Now comes the spices. I normally use about 2 teaspoons of the masala. If you don't have masala, just use regular curry paste. So that's 2 teaspoons. Then I throw in about half a teaspoon of turmeric, which is a very healthy thing to have. Obviously a bit of salt. Pepper. And of course, one of my favorite, the Montreal seasoning, because it's got a lot of good things in there. Perfect for a curry. And I can add in my ginger as well. Then I go for a teaspoonful. Now I'll be adding in my tomatoes, or as you would say in America and Canada, tomatoes. Mix this up. We're basically now ready to seal up and let it cook. I'm just going to put a little bit more water in. Now time to seal it up. Just line up the dots. Okay, this does have a safety valve so that when there is pressure you cannot open it. Just make sure that you've got it on the sealed. And now I am going to set the timer. I'm going to set the timer for about 45 minutes. I did say I'm going to be cooking for an hour, but the reason I've got 15 minutes extra is that will be the time for me to throw in some of my vegetables and a few of the other ingredients. So now it's just a matter of waiting. So now the beauty is it's sealed, the time is set, so we just leave it and we'll come back and check in 45 minutes. Now is a good time to have a glass of wine or a beer or whatever. Well, the 45 minutes is up. So now to relieve the pressure before you can open. So now you just wait till all the pressure is gone. There's a little safety knob here. When that drops down, which it just did, it means that I can open up and let's have a look. Now the next step is I'll be adding some vegetables. I'm going to cheat a bit. I'm going to be using frozen vegetables. I've got my rice cooking at the moment. So let's have a look and see what it looks like. And there you have it. The curried pork. So now I'm going to be adding the vegetables. I'll be adding some mixed vegetables. I'm just going to switch it on to carry on cooking. One of the other things I normally add into my curries is a little bit of good old ketchup. Just helps to add to the flavor. I'm going to seal it up and then cook for about another 10-15 minutes. I'm going to go just under 15 minutes, and that will give us time to at least cook the vegetables. And then the last ingredients that I'll be adding in is some beans. You can do butter beans, which is also lima beans. I'm actually going to be using kidney beans, and in French it's called rouge foncé. Here we have cooked the vegetables. The timer has stopped, and now to release the pressure before opening up, and I will be adding some beans. Okay, the little safety thing has dropped, so that means I can open up safely. That is looking so good. Woohoo! There you have the curry. So now what I'm going to be doing is adding in the beans. I'm actually going to switch it on a bit now so it just cooks the beans a little bit. Throw the beans in and mix it up. I'm just going to let it cook for a little bit longer so that the beans do cook a bit, even though they are canned beans. I do need to thicken up the curry a bit. So I always use this Robin Hood Instant Blend. The good thing about this is it never gets lumpy, so you can just add a little bit at a time until the curry is the desired thickness. Well, the curry is ready. I've got it to the desired thickness that I want. And now, tasting time. And here we have it. Dinner is served. We have our curry with rice, and I always add Mrs. Ball's chutney. And now time to taste it. Well, I have to say the meat is very tender. So this is the first time I'm actually doing curried pork. So let's see how it goes. Very tender and very tasty actually. I'm really surprised that pork is actually a good curry. And cheers, I hope you enjoy your curry. And feel free to just throw in your own ingredients. It's always good to try something new. Cheers.